Hey guys, it's Sebastian from Skycom Solutions, and today we're going to be talking about how to set up a lower third graphic in Zoom, WebEx, and Teams. So we're really excited today to bring you this tutorial. A client of ours requested something similar to this, and we found a really great free solution that you can use to create a lower third in your Zoom or virtual meeting software. We're really excited to be using OBS. OBS is a free software. If you're looking for something that's paid, that's a paid service that might be a little bit more reliable, that's not open source, you're able to do that. I have both links for OBS and a paid for service vMix in the description. So you can use both of those and they will do the exact same thing. So let's dive into it. I have my laptop open here. I have OBS open, and I actually have a lower third graphic already built just to give you an idea of what the possibilities are. You can add images to this. You can add multiple lines of text, and it is completely customizable in color and font, and it's really great for these virtual live events that we've been doing since the pandemic has started. So I'm going to go and actually delete what I have here to start from scratch, so that when you open up OBS, you actually might have this screen open and it has two windows at the same time opening, and that's just your preview and program window. You'll notice right beside that studio mode button, there's a start virtual camera button. We don't want to do that yet because we haven't added anything into this input in OBS yet. So when you open OBS, you're going to start with one scene. You can make sure that scene is selected. Then you can go over to sources. This is your web camera. This is maybe your image you want to include in your lower third. This is maybe a rectangle that's a color that's going to provide a backdrop for your lower third. So those are your sources. This is what you need to add in order to actually see something on your OBS screen. So we're hitting the plus button there. Then we're going over to video capture device, hitting OK. And then we're going to choose integrated camera. And that is our integrated webcam. And we're going to go to the max resolution that it can provide, which is 1280 by 720. We're going to hit OK. We're going to drag this over to fill the screen. Now, if you had a 1920 by 1080p webcam, it would fill the screen because this is a 1920 by 1080 project. But if you're looking at, a 720 webcam like most webcams are, still HD, still great quality. These are Lenovo E15s from 2020, so they're a great high quality webcam. If you have a similar laptop, this is going to do great work for you. But yeah, 720 is great quality, but you want to add that input and add it from, again, video capture device. Then what I like to do is go to rename and call this webcam. Done. So the first step is done. You have your input in. You could, if you didn't want to add anything, you could go over here and hit start virtual camera, open up your Zoom meeting or Teams meeting, and join the meeting. But we're not going to do that. We're going to add our lower third stuff now. So we're going to recreate that one that I showed you at the beginning. We're just going to go plus, we're going to go color source, and we're going to call this L3 background. Okay. So right now it's choosing the color white and it's blocked the entire screen. We want to select a color. And you can actually type in RGB values. So 0. So I just put in Skycomp's color, main logo color, so that we're able to match our branding, which is probably what you're going to do. If you don't know your RGB value or your brand colors, you can easily go to your marketing department and ask them what those colors are. Then the next thing we're going to do is change the width and height of this. So I can just go 7 by 1. You might be saying, Sebastian, that's tiny. But if you drag it if you use the arrow, like the little corners, the corner pins of this rectangle, you can drag it and resize it to almost anything you want. But I've found that this is a really good size. So we can drag it, resize it. We can also drag it a little bit off screen if we need to. But this is perfect. So we'll set that right there. How are we doing? Perfect. We're gonna hit OK. That's gonna set right there. You can still, again, drag, move that around, no problem. And we're gonna actually we're gonna make this a little bit more complicated. We're gonna copy it and duplicate it. So background 2, perfect. We're gonna change the color to just white. Okay, and we're gonna drag it, and you can see that it kept the other one. And we can drag the background layer below it. If you're familiar with Photoshop or Illustrator, working with layers is the same thing. So there we have it. We have a lower third there. We don't have any text in it though. You probably noticed when we hit the plus button, there was an option to add text in brackets GDI plus. Don't worry about the GDI plus. This is just a text creator. We're gonna put this as name. We're going to type our name or our text in that we want. We're then going to select a font here. We're going to choose Quicksand, medium, okay, perfect. And then again, we can click and resize that text. Perfect. So that's one. We're going to go again, right click this, go to copy, go to paste, duplicate. So if you pasted a reference, it would be the exact same file, and whatever changes you made to the reference file, it would also change the original. So you got to make sure that you're choosing a copy and not a reference. We're going to drag that below. We're going to retype this to digital media specialist. Perfect. And that's super big, and it's also not exactly what I wanted. So we're going to change the font to regular. Okay. And then I also want to change the font color. Oh, we have to do that in our preferences, select color. There we go. That's just at the bottom of the screen here. Choose black. Okay, there we go, perfect. We can drag that a little bit smaller and put that into our lower third. We can just nudge it over. Oh, I selected the wrong thing. Make sure to select the actual item you want by clicking on the layer. We can drag that over. Perfect. That looks really good. I'm really happy with the look of that lower third. So now that we have a name key that we're happy with, we can go in and do a couple more finer detail adjustments to make this look just a little bit nicer. So we can select on my name here. We can just nudge that, line it up right with the digital media specialist. The D and the S can line up a little bit nicer there, I think. And then there's a lot of extra space in this lower third. So I want to get rid of that. And we can select on the rectangle, make sure we're selected on the rectangle and not the name. Go back to properties. We can actually hit a smaller number there. And that's going to bring it in a little bit, but we can actually go even more. Perfect. And then we can go over to digital media specialist one. We can also match that up by hitting 5 there as well. Well, we actually need a little bit more space, but I'm going to shrink the text instead of shrinking or growing the rectangle. So we're going to go down to a smaller font and just make that a little bit bigger. Perfect. Super happy with the way that looks. That's a little bit cleaner, a little bit neater. Awesome. And now we can actually select all these, except for webcam. Sorry, just select the two names, text file, just select the two text options and then the two rectangles that you created. Right click and group selected items. And we're going to call this name key. Perfect. So now that we have our lower third and everything set up, we can actually jump into a meeting and start our virtual camera, and we'll see that lower third graphic show up. Before I do that, I just want to show you a quick little other thing you can do. You can go to plus, you can go to images, you can go to OK, and then you can actually browse a file on your computer for an image. So I have this SkyComp image here. So we just uploaded it. It's a larger image. We can actually go into properties. Sorry, we can go into filters. We can go into plus. We can go into crop. Okay. We can crop each side by 10. No, we're gonna have to crop them by a lot more. So we can crop the sides on that a little bit. Perfect. So that's a little bit of a smaller image. And then we can shrink that down. Whoa. Shrink that down and add that to the side of our lower third. So I've added the SkyComp logo to the lower third. It looks a little bit more professional now. And you can add your logo in easily. You can add a transparent logo, PNG, JPEG, almost any file type to this, and it works very well. So now our lower third, we're done, we're happy with it. Now we can jump over to Zoom or Teams and add our lower third to our actual virtual call. So we can just minimize OBS. So we're back at our desktop. We can open up Teams. We can go to start a new meeting. Perfect. We're going to choose a custom setup. And right now we see OBS virtual camera. And it's off right now because OBS, we're not sending the virtual signal. So now we can go back to OBS, hit start virtual camera, and then we'll see ourselves. Now you'll notice in the preview window here in Teams, the logo is backwards and the lower third is backwards. In Microsoft Teams specifically, they flip your feed so it mirrors you when you're joining a meeting. But to anyone else in any other meeting, it is the correct way. So don't, in Microsoft Teams specifically, do not go flipping or mirroring your image in OBS to fix the problem. Because right now, it seems like there's a problem, but there's not. Just to be clear about Microsoft Teams, again, they mirror it in the joining your meeting window. Once you actually join the meeting with another participant, it flips it back so it's normal for you. It looks great. We're really happy with the way that this turns out. I really hope that you took something away from this video, that you'll go ahead and move forward and implement these lower thirds in your organization. It's a really cool, simple, and free way to elevate your virtual meetings. If you're looking to watch more videos about Microsoft Teams or other virtual call meetings, you can click over here. And if you're looking to learn more about other types of technology, you can go on over here. Thanks for watching. Head on over to skycomp.ca/learn for more information, and we'll see you next time.